Oh, Rebecca, you're muted.
I thought I had unmuted myself, and it clearly had not been. And now I am unmuted. But welcome everybody to the Supergirl Radio live and wired stream. I'm feeling a little frantic because things have just been happening very fast today. So I have a lot of questions.
Sure.
About this issue that I would like to pose for clarification. I have a lot of make sure I understood what was happening. So we have a lot to talk about. We have some news coming up, and hopefully people will enjoy our conversation about Supergirl 2025 number 3. That is continuing this new run on Supergirl. So, Morgan, if you are ready to go, I suppose we could just go ahead and get started.
We could just dive right in.
Let's just get into it. Okay.
Do it.
McGurk! I love typing.
Not mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom. Because
she looks like a boss in this coat.
Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
No.
Helen Slater here. It's so fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yes! Welcome to Supergirl Radio, your source for all things related to the character of Kara Zor-El. My name is Rebecca Johnson.
I'm Morgan Glennon.
And for this episode of the podcast, we are live and wired to discuss and review Supergirl 2025 number 3 with art by Sophie Campbell. And it actually, I should say that this was written and drawn by Sophie Campbell. She was the writer and the artist on this issue. The colorist was Tamara Bonvillain, the letterer Becky Carey, assistant editor Jillian Grant, and senior editor Brittany Holzer. So hopefully I got all those names correctly. And what I think is cool, I know we're only 3 issues into this run, but I like that the names are consistent. It seems like it's a lot of the same people contributing to this. So it seems like one vision, which is nice, which I think plays out in the story. It seems like a story that's not taking any strange turns in issue 3 and deciding to be something else, which I personally am very thankful for, because sometimes that is a luxury that we are not afforded when reading comics. So we're going to get into the issue. We've got lots to discuss, but we have some things that we do need to talk about in terms of some things that were announced and a surprising thing that I think, Morgan, I'm so excited for you to know about. So we have something that we have to discuss in terms of the Superman family, and then something that I think you will enjoy very much. So before we get to talking about Superman number 3, we need to get to
the news.
Where's the news? According to Variety.com, English-born Terrence Stamp, who burned brightly as a young actor in the 1960s with praise heaped upon him for roles in Billy Budd, The Collector, and Far from the Madding Crowd, memorably played the villain General Zod in the Superman films and was the highlight of Steven Soderbergh's The Limey, died Sunday. His family confirmed to Reuters he was 87.
Yeah, so I guess we have to remember Terrence Stamp. What the article in Variety, or at least that little bit, didn't mention, that not only was he General Zod in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, he was also Jor-El on Smallville. He was his Jor-El.
Oh, that's right.
His Jor-El was maybe his Jor-El was more villainous than General Zod. I don't know. You could maybe
true.
Make that case. But Terrence Stamp, what a great actor. I always heard great things about him. So it's sad to lose somebody from the Superman family. You know, live action portrayals and actors. But what a legacy to leave behind, that he did such a good job with those roles. So just wanted to remember him on the podcast, that his General Zod is definitely a standout in Superman 2. And so that's one of the reasons that movie, I think, is so beloved, is because he's such a good villain. So I just wanted to remember him as General Zod. And he lived a long life, 87.
That's true.
It's a great long life. So I'll have to check out some of his other films. I really haven't seen much outside of his sort of Superman family, Superman mythos work. So
yeah, I
a good job.
I thought the same thing as I was reading badly that list of his films. I was like, oh, I don't think I've seen any of those. But he was so memorable as a General Zod, and I think kind of one of the reasons why that character pops up so often is just that he was so memorable in that role. So yeah, a big loss, and also what a contribution he gave to the Superman on-screen storytelling.
Yeah, he is. He's going to go down as one of the greatest supervillains, I would say, that's ever been put to film. So sad to lose him, but just wanted to remember him on the podcast tonight, or for this week, I guess. In a lighter news, we had some sad news at the beginning, but in lighter news and exciting news, McFarlane Toy Store.com was selling, and I hope you will enjoy this, Morgan, a Mr. Bones action figure.
What?
From Infinity Inc. number 16.
What?
I think he's beautiful. I think he's perfect.
I like that on his chest, for people who don't, who just listen, who don't watch the live stream, there are just two bones, sort of like in a crisscross X.
Crossbone.
That is like a nice crossbone. That is amazing. I really feel like he probably put a lot of thought and effort into this outfit. We know that he likes to come correct. He likes to come dressed up. He's got a nice cape. He's got those boots are very they're very big. They're very tall. He's got his tall boots. He is working it. Look at it. He's posable too. He does like a fun pose with his hands, very dramatic. I love everything about this action figure. I think he's gorgeous.
This is his supervillain era. Before he turned a new leaf and joined the DEO as director of the DEO. This is when
before he entered corporate America. This is what he thought back on so fondly when he was looking at that picture. Now I get it.
Yeah, this is Mr. Bones as the sort of the rhyming supervillain in the Infinity Inc. series. So it's exciting news, but I have some disappointing news right after that.
Oh no.
They're already sold out of these action figures.
What?
So we cannot purchase
How can
them.
they be sold out already?
Because Mr. Bones is one of the greatest. Everybody wants the Mr. Bones action figure.
So mayhaps, I followed the link, and perhaps it says pre-order, and the button's really big. So
I thought it said sold out when I clicked on it.
Maybe they got more in. I was gonna be like, if this is a sold out, if this is a sold out situation, am I gonna have to hijack another truck?
You did not have anything to do that.
Legally, I did not do that.
Okay, so when I clicked on that link like yesterday,
yeah,
it said sold out. Now it says pre-order. So
it's about to get sold out. I just like smashed the pre-order button.
This is actually good news. I feel good about this. So
it's such a reasonable price. I would have paid so much more for him.
Yeah, it is $27.99. So if you want a Mr. Bones action figure, we have included, I believe the link is in the live stream below. And I want to say, I was looking at some of the other images. I just pulled a few of the actual action figure itself. But does it come with like a comic?
I think it looks like, I like the zoom in on his face. It's very dramatic. I don't know. There is
like one of those page puncher kind of things.
It might be a page puncher. I think there is. There might be a comic. It looks like either a comic or a card of some kind. It's Mr. Bones. It says hell hath no fury ... like Mr. Bones, which is amazing catchphrase. And then he's like smashing through a door like the Kool-Aid man. He's got that cyanide sweat. He took off one of his gloves. He's just sweating all over the place. And then there's like this lady, the superhero woman, who's like, oh no, kind of doing like a pose down at the front.
I think that's, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since we did the Mr. Bones character spotlight, but I think that is Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor's daughter.
Oh,
someone fact check me in the chat, but I believe that was because we talked about all of those stories, and that sort of, I cannot remember her name right off the top of my head. But I think
that's a better memory than I had. I was just like, she looks cool.
Yeah, this I think this is related to specifically Infinity Inc. number 16, which I think is his villainous debut. So it says when a member of the team is kidnapped by this new villain, they will have to face Mr. Bones and his cyanide touch.
Oh my God. It appears to come with a couple accessories. I don't understand how these things work because I'm not like an action figure guy, but it seems to have like a little necklace with like 2 medallions that have like skeleton faces on it. Sick. And then like a couple of different I don't know if the hands are like, you can switch them out, or if the hands are like, these are different ways you can pose the hands.
Yeah, usually it's something like that.
I'm not clear on that, but whatever. You can pose his hands in different ways. You can give him a cool chain.
Well, Abby in the chat says, if one of you doesn't get this, it will be a crime to Supergirl Radio. Well, I've already got Morgan's Christmas present.
But what if I buy it for myself? This is stressful now. What if we double buy? we come back from the holiday break and all behind me, all Mr. Bones. Everyone got me this for Christmas.
Everyone, this is how we're going to sell it out. Everybody behind Morgan.
It's sold out again, and this time it is all in my house.
Well, I think that's a great idea. We should aim for that. So that's very, very funny. Okay, well, I guess that's good news. I thought it was sold out, and I was disappointed. And now I'm finding that it's possible. Things have opened up.
You can pre-order it, and it's going to ship sometime in October, which is perfect for a Mr. Bones action figure. Spooky season.
Yeah.
He's a walking skeleton.
I love it. I do wish, I like the supervillain era of Mr. Bones, but I like his like sharp suit with the starry tie with the cigar. Like that would be my preferred action figure.
Abby even asked, does it come with the cigar? This is because this is pre-Bones. This is his super villain era, which he thinks back to now like fondly.
Yeah, he looks at old pictures of himself but
he's got kind of that's before he kind of got into like the cigar, like expensive whiskey, expensive suits era that we know and love.
This is Mr. Bones, not director.
That's true. This is Mr. Bones. Director Bones is the cigar guy. That's when he starts smoking. It's all the stress of that position. It's got him smoking.
He has to manage like employees and stuff. He has to do performance reviews and stuff. Yeah. So this is exciting. I'm very excited.
Director Bones has to like talk to HR. That's why he smokes.
He has to report to his boss about
exactly.
Yeah. Yes. And even Mind the Gap says because the supervillain was less evil than the government work.
Exactly. There's a lot going on now.
Government work can be kind of evil depending on who is involved. I suppose that is true. All right. Well, I know what I'm doing right after we get off this live stream. That's like my priority number 1.
Smashing that pre-order button.
Okay. Well, that's good news. All right. We have turned a corner on the Mr. Bones action figure. Okay. Well, that's going to cover all of our news. So I suppose we should get to talking about the issue that we have gathered to discuss. Supergirl 2025 number 3 has a description that reads, quote, Kara and the daughter of Lex Luthor, Lena, have come together to battle a common enemy posing as Midvale's very own Supergirl. Will Lena's brains and Kara's brawn be a match for the superpowered super genius from Kandor? It's Supergirl versus Supergirl in a fight for the ages. Plus, the debut of Satan Girl. So, Morgan, I was curious. Did you know anything about Satan Girl?
I did not. When this turn happened in the comics and she gets hit with the black kryptonite and she's like, things are changing for me. I'm a Satan Girl. I was like, what? You're what? I hoped that had a long-standing tradition in the comics or something, but I thought it was also just as possible that they were like, what's like a weird name that we could give her because she's evil right now. I also think it's specifically funny because she's like, this is me, the evilest version of me, Satan Girl, and I'm gonna start by pantsing all y'all. That's right. Underwear as far as the eye can see.
And she blows out
person.
she's so evil she pantses everybody, and she also blows out the birthday candles of like little girl birthday parties.
Yeah, that was pretty
Evil.
That was pretty rough. Evil.
You can't get worse than that.
Like Satan himself. And then she's like, I'm going to take one of your candles. And you're like, there's other candles. Satan Girl. So amazing.
So, Satan Girl, I remembered from the comics from the Sterling Gates run. She's actually in there's an appearance of Satan Girl in Sterling Gates's Bizarro Girl. Supergirl and Brainiac 5 go up against Satan Girl in that comic book. So that's how I knew of Satan Girl. She typically, this is the, I guess the DC Wikipedia. It says Satan Girl is an enemy of Supergirl in the Legion of Superheroes. Although the character has gone through many different incarnations, the original version was an evil duplicate of Supergirl that almost killed all female Legionnaires to sustain her existence. Now, why all female Legionnaires?
Wait a minute.
Wouldn't Satan go after all of them?
We don't want to kill any of the dudes?
I don't know why Satan Girl would specifically target the female.
Satan Girl, why so sexist?
Later incarnations include an 18th century Satanist and an alien death goddess. I have not read that one.
There's a lot happening there.
Yes. So Satan Girl was created by Edmund Hamilton and Kurt Swan, first appearing in Adventure Comics number 313 from 1963. So yeah, this is not an accident. As we know with Sophie Campbell, bringing a lot of Supergirl things in that have occurred in her mythology and her history, and sort of bringing them back and reinventing them. So I'm glad to see that even though Satan Girl is not a favorite character of mine, it is used in a way that I think makes sense. But I have questions about the kryptonite in this issue.
Me as well. I see Mind the Gap says Alan Moore's Supreme had a throwback issue with a Supergirl character and a Satan Girl character. Jim Mooney did some art in the issue. So it looks like Satan Girl pops up from time to time. Who knows where she'll show up next?
Yeah. So this one, correct me if I'm wrong, Morgan. Let's just try to kind of like clarify the instance of how Satan Girl shows up and how she is removed, I guess.
Yeah.
So Leslie Lar, she's literally gunning after Supergirl. Supergirl's getting all the praise in Midvale. Leslie wants the spotlight. She don't want Supergirl to be the only Supergirl in town. So she creates this gun, weapon, some kind of thing to shoot Supergirl with black kryptonite. It creates this Satan Girl persona. Do you feel like that's how you read it?
That's how I read it. She gets hit with the black kryptonite, and the black kryptonite like creates this sort of Satan Girl persona. Like it corrupts Supergirl into Satan Girl. So
as Satan Girl, she's doing evil things, but Supergirl can yes, as evil as Supergirl could get, I guess.
Yeah.
But she can still kind of think Supergirl thoughts in her head, like, I don't want to be doing this. Why am I doing this? She's questioning things. And then Lena Luthor pops in to help save the day. And so I guess we'll talk about Lena and then talk about how the process of removing Satan Girl. So it's just very interesting that in this version, Satan Girl is not a distinct entity. Satan Girl is just like a persona that I guess attaches to Supergirl in some way because of the black kryptonite. So it's not like another person. It's just something that has influenced and infected. I hate to say that. I hate to say that word, infected.
No.
I don't want to go back to the infected Supergirl.
We're traumatized, I think.
If we had not read the end of Rebirth so close to,
we'd be fine with this.
Yeah.
We'd be fine with it. As soon as she got hit with that ray, and she's like, "I'm Satan Girl," and she's like, she's got kind of like the wrestler mask on, and everything's all choppy, and I was like, "No, not again! My God, please don't do it."
Do we check her fingernails? Maybe we should check. Her
I did not notice the. Oh my God, they are long. No, she does have long black fingernails. Oh God, it's all coming back.
Does she? She does.
She does.
Yeah,
I can see it on the first panel. It's not as noticeable as it was in the infected storyline where they were pretty extreme. But she does have like long black fingernails to, really bring home that she's metal and goth.
So, okay. So she's become Satan Girl. Leslie has tried to turn the town against her. So she's created this Satan Girl using the black kryptonite, and the way that she is saved from the black kryptonite is because Lena Luthor steps in and creates an invention. Morgan, what did you think about the Lena Luthor stuff in this issue?
I had no idea what was happening. I liked it as a concept, but did I understand it? No, I did not. She seems to create. Well, she is spending the most of the issue fixing Supergirl's suit.
Right. Which I just now realized that the P meant for phony girl. For a while, I didn't understand that. So the people of Midvale have been calling Supergirl phony girl because Leslie has tricked them to think that she is Supergirl. So when phony girl kept popping up, I was like, oh, that's what the P is for. I came late to that party. I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, that's so she's trying to turn the P into an S. She spends most of the issue, bonding with Streaky, trying to get Streaky to like her, being like, Streaky, I just want you to understand that I'm lonely in this world, and Supergirl is my one good friend, and I really want you to accept me. And Streaky just, probably just stares directly at Lena's face and then knocks one of her tools off the table or something. Streaky warms up to Lena by the end of the issue, but like as much as a cat will usually do, which is like she probably dropped her like a little bit further than she needed to drop her. She's like, fine, we're friends now. Will you feed me extra treats? But so she's spending most of the issue trying to fix the suit. But obviously when the Satan Girl situation presents itself, she has to do sort of a hard pivot. And what she does as a hard pivot is kind of confusing to me. It appears that she puts like a tiny ape onto what looks like a small rocket launcher and then shoots and then has the ape like heat vision a crystal which shoots Supergirl with kryptonite, which cures her. Now, I'm not super familiar with the ape. His name is Titano.
Yes, I believe this is supposed to be a tiny version of Titano.
They're calling him Tiny Tano.
Tiny Tano. I like it. He's a super villain who appears in Superman comics specifically. So he's been around since 1959. First appeared in Superman number 127. And he is we've talked a lot about metahumans recently. He is referred to as a meta chimpanzee. Also called Toto or the super ape. So he's been around for a very, very long time.
I felt like the name was familiar to me, but I didn't really know him. But there's not much to know about an ape of whatever size. I didn't remember him being tiny. I feel like that's something that probably happened to him recently.
The tiny part I think is new. I've never seen him tiny before.
And I was I'm not super familiar with his powers, so I wasn't sure how does he have kryptonite heat vision, or was he heat visioning a piece of kryptonite, which then was like causing it to blast out? I was unclear on the mechanics of that.
Okay, if we are going to go by Wikipedia's description, his
And
powers
we
and
always should.
abilities, we should. A fusion between two meteors, green kryptonite and uranium, caused Toto, or Titano, to grow in colossal proportions. As Titano, his size and strength are many times greater than that of a human, and he can project kryptonite beams from his eyes. So that does happen in this
Oh.
issue, and they make a point to mention that. But the post-crisis version of Titano has similar powers, but he does not possess the kryptonite eye beams. So, so the kryptonite beams seem to be his main thing. So that's why he's used in this way. And I think that's great. I think that's a great pull from Superman family lore and history. My only question is, how does using green kryptonite counteract the black kryptonite?
That's a great question.
Does it kill the Satan girl part of her? Is that like a metaphor that
Ooh,
Satan girl has
deep.
been killed?
Well, that's interesting. Perhaps I looked at it more like it weakened her enough that the Satan girl portion of her just kind of
it melted off her face.
Melted
again.
But
there's a lot of melting of faces.
There's a lot of face melting so far in this run. It's only been 3 issues. But I could see your interpretation as well, because there is that panel after Tiny Tano hits her with the kryptonite beam, where it looks like the Satan girl is sort of detaches from Supergirl, and you see Supergirl's face and Satan girl's face is kind of melting off of it. So I wonder if it is a thing where they became two, but then Satan girl, because she got hit with most of it, kind of disintegrated and like died.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem to affect Supergirl, I don't think. I think Leslie gets a little bit infected by the green kryptonite, but it doesn't seem to. The only thing that I think really affects Supergirl is that it messes up her Supergirl suit. It's very raggy and raggedy. So there's that. But I don't know. I could see it both ways. Either way, Lena was smart enough to understand that kryptonite seemed to be the way to counteract that. I just want to know, where did she get Tiny Tano?
Yes, I have so many questions about Tiny Tano, honestly. Just to start from, why is he tiny instead of full size? Where did she get him from? Where has he been? Is he is he helping of his own free will? Has he been captured? Do we need to stage a breakout for Tiny Tano? Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
Hang on. So it's been a while since we talked about the other issues. Wasn't he in the previous issue? Now that I'm kind of
Was he?
Because I kind of remember him like messing up Midvale.
Oh, wait.
Didn't he? Maybe we have to answer our own questions.
Oh, yes. This is a great question, because I don't remember.
I have some memory of him like rampaging in Midvale. So I think Leslie, was it Leslie who brought Titano into the situation? So
I think so.
Yeah, so Leslie in issue number 2 has Titano in this little ball thing that she throws out. And he pops out of. So maybe he became small in Kandor. Maybe she had him in Kandor.
That's right. I'm going back to issue 2. She does. That's right. She does let him out. She has him in like a little ball, and then he becomes very big,
Yes.
and he sort of destroys some houses, and then they tie him up, and then we don't see what happens to him after that. So I suppose they shrunk him down.
So I guess Lena, after witnessing all that stuff, maybe she took Titano in and
She
said,
was
"I'm
like,
gonna help you."
Listen, buddy. I know what it's like to feel the pull of the dark side.
So Tiny Tano came from Lezalar. I'm assuming Kandor, not explained. But it seems like Lena has. I guess Tiny Tana was just living with her in her house.
I do like that as a concept. She's just sort of had him in the background. Now, oh my God, you're right. Okay, so in like on page like 1, 2, 3. On page 4, when she's in the lab talking to Streaky, working on the suit, in the background, you can see like a little enclosure where Tiny Tano is hanging out. So clearly they didn't know what to do with Titano after the fight, so they just shrink rayed him down. I mean, it is a very Kryptonian thing to be like, I'm not sure what to do with you. What if I made you small and put you in a bottle?
Yeah, they have him in like a little terrarium or something.
He doesn't seem super happy, but he doesn't seem that upset. So
he's probably living the good life with Lena Luthor. I don't think he's lacking for anything. But yeah, that would be a Kryptonian thing to do, to put him in a shrink him and put him in a bottle. That's a good point.
What do we do? What do we do with problems? Put them in the bottle.
Yeah, so Titano is Tiny Tano here, and I guess I don't know how did he have the X-ray beams in issue 2? Now I have to go back to issue 2 to see
I
if he
don't
had
think
the
he
X-ray.
did. I think he was just kind of like
just
stomping
rampaging?
around, rampaging. I was just on issue. Let me go back to issue 2. I was just there. I have to back a page.
Okay,
Margaret costume. Oh no, he does have the beams.
He does have the kryptonite eye beams. So that has been established in this run. Had to go back to revisit that because it's been so long since we read issue 2. So
yeah, in fact, I think he hits. Does he hit Leslie? He hits Leslie with the kryptonite eye beams. It seems.
Is that how her face? That's how her face melts.
That's how her face melts. Okay, all right.
so Lena is very smart in this, that she remembered this is what happened to Leslie. I know what to do here.
I bet I could melt Satan Girl the same way.
Lots of face melting, but it is the cure for this situation here. So
it's the cure for what ails you.
I think it's interesting when Lena presents Tiny Tano, like she reveals him for the first time, talking to Streaky about the plan to save Supergirl. She has a suit of some kind.
She does.
Does Lena have a super suit here?
It looks like some kind of it looks super suit adjacent.
Hang on.
Oh,
I feel like we should introduce this properly.
And now, Lena Luthor, boardroom or ballroom?
So, what do you think about Lena's suit here?
Lena looks gorgeous. It looks kind of like a suit, like a super suit. It's like green, like a kind of a hunter green, like a darker green or a teal, and it looks kind of like the suit that you'd see on like a character in a video game to me. Like it's all kind of like one jumpsuit. It's got like boots attached to the suit, so it's like all one thing, it looks like. So that's probably pretty annoying to put on. And then it's got like a little shrug jacket over top, like a little orange shrug jacket over top of it. but also it has like little little places to put things. Like it has like
Like a
little
utility
pockets on the
belt.
side. Yeah, like a utility belt. And then also maybe like a fanny pack that's like attached to a belt buckle on the other side. So it's like it's useful, you can go out and do your errands all day in it. There's got a little spot for your phone. There's
Yes.
like probably a little spot for like, I don't know, like a pack of gum if you never know how fresh your breath's going to be all day when you're fighting. So I think it's a good look. I think I'm surprised it's not purple, frankly, because that's sort of a more of a Luthor color.
It's greenish, so I guess
Yeah.
that could work.
That's true. Yes, it is greenish. I like the color green that it is. Really brings out her eyes.
Yeah, the necessity for a jacket is interesting because she looks like she has a long sleeve
Yeah,
or something or other on.
the jacket is purely decorative for sure. There's no function to the jacket. Like she's got like a little utility belt and a little like attach on fanny pack, but the jacket is absolutely useless. But I think it is actually useful and it's fashion. That's what it
Yes.
is. It's like a pop of color, right? Like she doesn't want to just be green. Sometimes she wants a little fun. She wants a little orange.
I do like the nice touch that the sleeve and what is that, a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-sided, is that a what would you call that? A
Um,
5-sided shape. Um, it's on her shoulder.
like a pen, not quite a pentagon, right?
Yeah, pentagon. Yes, I knew
Is it 5
pentagram was not the right thing.
It's like, I'm getting all mixed
Pentagon.
up with Satan Girl.
Yes.
1,
Um,
3
but it looks like
It's actually got 6 though, I think.
oh, does it have 6?
1,
Well,
2
she's got one on the
Yeah,
shoulder,
6.
one on her like neck area, and then one on her belt. And I think it's interesting because it sort of reminds me of her like brainiac things that are
It
on her.
does. I was thinking the same thing, like the way that she has them on the shoulders and on the chest and on the belt, and even on, I guess, the knees kind of,
Yeah.
because it looks like the same shape, which I looked it up, and I think it's a hexagon.
Okay.
A 6-sided figure. But yeah, it does remind me of like the Brainiac symbol she has on the forehead. So it has that kind of like Brainiac almost vibe to it. I think the costume does.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think it's good to have her finally have a super suit. The Lena Luthor of the Supergirl series only had her metallo look and her like witchy look, really.
That's right. She was like a charmed witch from the 90s for a little while. But that she didn't get a suit. Everybody else got a suit. Literally everybody else got a suit.
Yeah.
But Lena was denied this. And I like that we finally get a Lena Luthor sort of superhero-y suit. I think that's fun. Abby points out that the orange jacket matches Tiny Tano's outfit as well, which I like. I like the idea of sort of matching the small miniaturized creature that you're using as a weapon. Because like otherwise I feel like, is he there? Does he want to do this? And it's like, well, yeah, of course they do. He does. They're matching. It's like a day out.
What if it's like a Batman and Robin situation? Like it's like Lena and Tiny Tano. Like
Oh my God.
anytime they go out together.
I would read that, and also, I would like it if it becomes like an Arrested Development thing. How like Buster is always matching Lucille, like the sailor outfits. I would like to see like a Lena Luthor and Tiny Tano in like little sailor outfits, like doing little dances. She's got toddlers and tiaras, Tiny Tano.
I like where this is going. I hope we get to see more of this duo
Story avenues that they could take this.
So I figured we should take a moment and look at what Lena was wearing because it was very distinctly a superhero suit. So glad that we could discuss it. And this has been
Lena Luthor, boardroom or ballroom.
We don't get to use that much.
We don't. But now that she's in the comics, now that we're reading Lena Luthor comics, we can boardroom or ballroom all her outfits.
We have lots more opportunities.
For the last boardroom or ballroom comment, Mind the Gap says her outfit looks like Rogues from X-Men the animated series with just different colors.
Okay. Well,
Cool.
hey, if it's functional and it works for Lena, I think that's great. And Lena also, it should be noted in this issue that she helped Supergirl with her look. So what did you
Oh.
think, Morgan, about how, Supergirl, she's been separated from Satan Girl, and her old school 80s Supergirl suit is now destroyed, and she needs another Supergirl suit. And Lena takes what I can only imagine is an homage to the cellophane S from the Lester cut of Superman 2 and throws it at Supergirl, which then gives her the ability to have her Supergirl suit again. What did you make of these sets of panels?
Yeah, that's such a deep cut. I definitely didn't get it. I was just like, wait, how does throwing the symbol at her help her in any way? And then I liked that she kind of had what, in my opinion, was kind of like a magical girl transformation, like a shoujo anime transformation, where like the S shield like hit her chest, and then it like reconfigured her outfit magically through magic science magic. And then back to her I think this was the costume that she started out in the first issue. But back to her old costume. So yeah, I liked it. I thought that was fun. I didn't initially understand what was going on, but I think that that's kind of even more fun when you see her throwing the shield and you're like, how is that going to help? And then it like magically turns into her Supergirl costume.
Yeah, I took it as an homage to
Oh, that
Superman
looked
2,
very close.
the
Yeah.
the Lester cut. But yeah, so that was a fun little Easter egg, if that is what that is. But I thought it also made sense because Lena had been working on the shield on the Phony Girl costume. So I guess somehow she has taken the S and has rigged it in such a way that it would then, once it hits her, it just kind of has that magical girl transformation that it and actually the Supergirl TV series in the later years had that kind of thing where Supergirl could like touch her S shield and the suit would
Oh,
sort
that's
of,
true.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that Melissa Benoist's Supergirl had that functionality that it would sort of just kind of appear around her. So I think this is in line with Supergirl stories of the past. So I have no problem with it. And I think it actually looks good. So Supergirl has a new suit and is ready to go. So I'm glad to know that even though I enjoyed having the 1980s sort of daring new adventures of Supergirl.
I did like that
suit,
outfit, honestly. I was like, oh, when it got all shredded, I was like, oh no, it was so cute.
But in the vein of those old costumes, like when her costume or her super suit would get destroyed, that's when she would get a new one. So that sort of follows that trajectory of supersuit evolution there, that she would get it when another one gets destroyed. Okay, so shall we talk about Leslie Lar here? Because I guess my thought to you, Morgan, is there's a lot that happens with the Danvers here, Jeremiah and Eliza. We see them in here are related to Leslie and her brainwashing. And we have a kind of a showdown between Supergirl and Leslie. So what do you want to tackle first?
Oh, that's a good question. I think maybe we tackle her initial evil plan to make Supergirl evil, or to hit Supergirl with black kryptonite. I'm not sure what she thought was going to happen because she seems kind of surprised after Satan Girl pops up and immediately pulls the cape over Leslie Lar's face, like, gotcha now. And she just seems immediately annoyed. And it's like, well, you messed around and you're finding out now. And this is what you wanted, right? She's knocking over people's garbage cans. She's a menace. She's doing mischief night stuff now, Lesla.
Lesla wanted Supergirl's reputation to be tarnished. And I think in some ways that could have worked, or her Black Kryptonite plan could have worked. I think the problem is that no matter what Lesla seems to do, people seem to like Supergirl.
So true.
It doesn't seem to really have much of an effect because eventually, Lena saves the day. Tiny Tano really saves the day.
It's really all on Tiny Tano, and I don't feel like he got the props that he deserved.
No, he truly did.
Should he get extra tiny bananas tonight? Definitely.
So I guess that's Lesla's big plan, is that she wanted people to like her more than they liked Supergirl. And I think Supergirl clocks it pretty well. She, I think, comes to the conclusion that Lesla's just lonely. She just wants to have a friend. And this is a weird way to make friends. So, but I think Supergirl, as Supergirl does, has some compassion on her and notices that about her, that she maybe is just doing this stuff out of acting out, wanting attention. So I liked seeing that at the end. After everything that has transpired with the Satan Girl business and all of that, Supergirl does seem to extend some grace to her. But I will say what I thought was really funny is that even though Supergirl does show her compassion, the Danvers are like, that's great. We're glad we're glad that you like came forward with all this, but like you're gonna have to make it up to us.
I mean, like Stanley said, she destroyed the garden. Like, I know it was Satan Girl, but this was Lesla Lar's fault, and I feel like they felt pretty proud of their garden, and now they have to replant the whole thing, so they're not feeling great. This is also probably like the second time in 3 issues that their house has been destroyed.
Titano destroyed their house.
Titano destroyed it. Satan Girl ripped up their garden and tunneled into their basement. I don't know how you fix that. That's got to be expensive as well. That's your foundation. So I can understand why, understandably, they would be like, I'm glad that things are working out for you. We all want the best for you. You need to make it up to us. You have been you have been mind controlling us for like, I don't know, a couple weeks, I think so. So I feel like the Danvers probably have more pent up animosity after the situation than Supergirl does. I do like Supergirl's solution to be like, I'm here for you. Like, I understand, kind of. You don't have to be alone. It's a little weird that you have like a wall of all my photos like crossed out, and I don't love that, if we're being honest. But like, again, I'm here for you. So I thought that was like a nice resolution to that storyline, and also, I really liked in the beginning of the issue where she's like using her x-ray vision to like look into the house and be like, she did all this and she's just having a normal dinner with my parents. Like, what's happening? And then she like x-ray visions down to the basement and she's like, oh no, she's got a creepy shrine to me.
There's even one panel where it's like Supergirl's face and it has a heart, but then like it's crossed out. So did Lesla love Supergirl? Like looked up to her and admired Supergirl, and then after a while she's like, no, I'm Xing her out. This is she's finished. So I thought that was a really funny thing, that she did seem to admire Supergirl, and then at one point wanted to get rid of her. So yeah, I think the Danvers definitely have a justifiable reason to want Lesla to maybe be the one who rebuilds their garden and fixes their basement.
She's gonna have to fix the garden. She's gonna have to put in like a tomato patch or something. Like, she's really gonna have to work at it. And it feels like she's not gonna have any time. And the poor Danvers are just going to get just their garden ripped up with no repercussions whatsoever.
Before we move on to the cliffhanger, because I think that's kind of where things are heading, I did want to mention that as this series is doing, Eliza Danvers is staying very consistent in how she's being drawn. And so I continue to appreciate that. That was something that Sophie Campbell didn't have to do, but she decided to honor that part of Rebirth. So I appreciate it.
I like it a lot and that it's in a lot of panels. I think one of our issues with Rebirth is that I feel like it was like 5 issues in before we noticed it, and then it like blew our minds, and we had to go back and see if it had been true the whole time that Eliza Danvers only had the one hand and was like missing the hand on the other arm. And this one, it's very obvious. Like it's in a lot of panels. I do feel like you wouldn't miss it. So I do like that she brought that over from Rebirth. And then not like highlighted it by like having any lines of dialogue, but it is just a very obvious part of Eliza Danvers. And I feel like if you're reading this, it wouldn't take you like half the run to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's being pointed out, but it's not focused on.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. Okay, so we've talked about a little bit about Supergirl's parents. Leslie's parents show up at the end of this. The big cliffhanger is that after all of the business of Supergirl and Leslie fighting and everything going down, Leslie's parents show up. And I was curious, Morgan, what you thought about that.
I thought it was really interesting. I enjoy when we see the Kryptonians because they can really they're really so varied in their attitudes. We get nice ones and we often get very mean ones. And I think Lesla's seem like they're trending towards the mean Kryptonians. The way that they have them, like I was going to say shot, but the way that they're drawn sort of from the perspective of Kara and Lesla, like looking up at them makes them seem very imposing. They have like their own outfit, their own like Lesla Lar, their own glyph, like, you know, the L glyph. And they seem like they're pretty tough people. They don't seem happy to see Lesla out there. They seem pretty mad about what she's been up to. They're talking already about they know the exact code that Lesla is in violation of, and also Kara,
which I felt like was unfair.
I don't think the Kara really did anything.
Kara didn't need to do anything. They say, and you, Kara Zor-El, like definitely Lesla Lar is in a violation of the code that forbids unsanctioned transit beyond Kandorian walls. I think
we got that. Yeah,
has definitely done that.
Sure.
But they say Kara Zor-El has exerted undue influence upon her impressionable daughter.
She did.
How is that like worthy of a sentence?
She didn't really do anything. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Leslie just gave Supergirl that like ability to make an impression on her just because she like obsessed over Supergirl. Supergirl didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think that it's a little unfair to say that Supergirl, you know, like kind of purposely had some influence on Leslie Lar when all she did was save her one time and was like kind of nice to her, and Leslie Lar got obsessed. Like that's not on Supergirl. That's not on her. That's on Leslie still. It's on Leslie for being so impressionable.
Yes. So it sounds like they both have to go to Kandor and they are going to be sentenced. So I don't think that's fair at all. I think Leslie should go back to Kandor, and Supergirl was the one who was wronged in this situation. Why isn't Supergirl being like, well, let me go file a police report with this woman posing as me? So I thought that was pretty unfair, but I guess maybe in the next issue we're going to Kandor.
It seems like we might, yeah.
All right. Well, Morgan, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about with the story before we move on to the art?
I feel like we covered everything, but I do want to just like shout out. We talked about Tiny Tano. We talked about Streaky, who is an incredible cat. We didn't really talk about the fact that Crypto also becomes evil. Satan Crypto, I guess, and really does honestly the worst thing I think that Satan Girl does. Crypto actually does, which is melting some guy's car. Really rough, Crypto. That's gonna cost him a lot of money. He goes, no, my car. And like, I was like, oh boy, that sucks. But also I just want to like shout out Candy, the bunny. She remains a legend, an icon that we don't get nearly enough Candy, but I like her little paws and her little flowing cape.
She does have a little flowing cape.
I like that she at one point is like fighting Crypto, I believe, in like the background of a panel. I do think it's very funny to have a bunny fight a dog. So that's always great stuff. That's always good for comedy.
Yeah. Candy has an orange cape with a green glyph, an L glyph. So kind of very similar colors as Lesla. Candy seems to function as the character Lesla can talk to. When Lesla's by herself and she wants to talk about her plans, Candy is the character who listens. Candy's a very good listener. So she is able to Leslie's able to tell her big plans to Candy and have someone to voice those things with. So yeah, this series has done a lot with the super pets and has really featured them, I think, in a really a way that makes sense. And I really like the emphasis on Streaky, especially because this is a Supergirl story. And so as much as Crypto has become Supergirl's dog, I like when Streaky is given a lot of time.
And Streaky does a lot in this issue, not only bonding with Lena on like a deep personal level, but also Streaky is the one who flies Lena in. And Streaky also, after the whole thing happens, and Tiny Tano uses his kryptonite vision to save Supergirl, Streaky appears to be just like taking him back to the lab. In one of the later panels, like you just see Streaky flying off with Tiny Tano in his mouth, and I'm just like, this is like a full day for Streaky, I think.
And Streaky really had to be convinced.
Streaky did need to be convinced. Streaky wasn't sure about that
and I think Streaky had a reason to be suspicious of Lena. Lena is a Luthor. And I think Streaky would have a sense that the Luthors are up to no good. And so Lena proving that she wanted
in, you know?
Yeah. I think Lena proved that she really wanted to help Supergirl. So Streaky kind of was willing to give her a shot. So lots of good Streaky in this episode or issue for sure. Any pages or panels that stuck out to you?
I really liked the art in this whole issue. I feel like there's like a ton of panels and pages I liked. I'd say the first I like page 1 and page 3. So in page 1, you see like Lesla is kind of using her X-ray vision to look at Supergirl helping this little girl with her math homework and just like being angry and being like, why do they still like her so much? Mm-hmm. And then one page later, you see Supergirl doing the same thing when she's looking into her house. And I like the way that they had sort of the eye, sort of an eye shaped,
like a binocular.
Kind of like a binocular look that lets you know that she's like looking inside the house and then like looking in the basement and then like enhancing onto the creepy Supergirl wall. I think that was like a really clever way to show you the concept of X-ray vision, which you don't see all the time in the comics, but I think it was a good way of representing that like graphically.
Yeah, and I like that they are both able to use those powers because they are so similar that they would have that same X-ray vision power. So I liked seeing them seeing each other's lives and peering into each other's lives in that way and having them paralleled. So I think that's a really good point. There was a comparison of not comparison, but there was like a bonding between Supergirl and Lena in this issue that I thought was really nice. And there was one panel where both of their heads were sort of it's kind of a weird thing. It looks like that it's like a two-headed person. But I like that panel where it's sort of them talking to each other. And I thought it was nice because in this issue, we find out that Lena has offered Supergirl a place to stay because she can't go home because Lesla has taken over her life and is staying with her brainwashed parents. So Kara needs a place to just crash. And so I thought it was a nice use of seeing them like be friends and hanging out And Kara's got her Legion of Superheroes shirt on, and she's eating her spicy mac and cheese sandwich and all that stuff. And so I just enjoyed seeing like the actual friendship between them sort of on display in this issue.
Yeah, I like that as well. I thought that this was a really good Lena and Kara issue of displaying their friendship and how they work with each other and how they help each other out, and kind of also getting a little bit to know this comic version of Lena Luthor, because I feel like we know Supergirl pretty well. We read a lot of Supergirl, but Lena can really vary depending on what you're reading, and I like this version of her. We kind of get the impression that she can understand where Leslie is coming from, not exactly what she's doing, but she knows what it's like to be lonely. She knows what it's like to kind of feel left out. And you see how important her friendship with Supergirl is, and how hard she's trying to befriend Supergirl's somewhat evil cat, and like working hard to figure out a solution. And I think that like having those two characters talk to each other, even when they're not in the same scene together, like when Supergirl is flying around her house doing like reconnaissance, I thought that was like a smart way of establishing their relationship, even if they weren't going to be on the panel at the same time in a lot of those scenes.
Yeah, I like that they have a conversation about like what the local people do in Midvale and how they eat these sandwiches that Kara really likes. And Lena says, stuff about what does she say? I've never actually eaten anything at like a diner or whatever, much less with friends. And then in a couple of panels, Supergirl contacts her and says, hey, do you want to, go to Midvale Munchies later? And I like that Kara is like, she understands that Lena doesn't have that experience of like things that she would have grown up doing, going to this Midvale Munchies place and getting these crazy sandwiches. And so she's inviting Lena to have that experience and know what that's like to go to lunch with a friend. And so I think that's it's a simple thing, but I think it's a nice Supergirl thing for her to do.
And I think Lena is actually kind of instrumental in Supergirl understanding what's going on with Leslie Lar and like actually understanding what her motivations are. Because in the panel that you liked, Lena says something like, Kara, have you ever been lonely? Like really lonely, because you'll do just about anything to get out of it. And Kara says, yeah. So I think Lena being like, I think I understand what her motivation is, really clues Kara into, okay, this is how I should deal with this person who's trying to like, take over my life. It might not be like a nefarious plan. It might just be somebody who's super lonely.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call, that her friendship with Lena informs how she handles Leslie. So hopefully that will make Leslie a friend as the story progresses. But for right now, they're both in a little bit of trouble. The only critique I have for the art in this issue is that I felt like, and there's no really great way to maybe say this, I felt like Leslie's super suit was hanging a little low.
It's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out a delicate way to say that.
It's
but
not really
suit.
Attached to anything. So she's just hoping for that gravity is kind, and it's not always in this issue. By the end of their fight, it looks like the super suit has also seen some better days.
Yeah, so that would be my only critique. I'm sure that Sophie Campbell has a reason for drawing it that way, but if it had been, been me, I maybe wouldn't have had Leslie's suit, really just fallen off of her. But that's the way it is here.
At least she's not wearing the Margaret costume. I guess it could be worse.
That's true. At least I can kind of understand how the suit
I can understand the construction of it.
So that would be my only one critique, but otherwise I thoroughly enjoyed this issue, and I'm glad we get to see more of this story play out, because I think it's really taking its time to set up this new world of Midvale for us, and help us get to know these characters. So we're only now 3 issues going into 4 issues, but I feel like I know who these versions of the characters are. So I'm excited to read more.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this run a lot so far. I like the callbacks to her, previous runs on Supergirl. It feels like, it's coming from a big love for the character. I like all the super pets. And I feel like it has like a lot of heart to it, especially this issue where you could have just had her battling Leslie Lar, but to have it be like, oh, actually Leslie Lar, it like feels insignificant, and Supergirl can help mostly by just being like, hey, I see you. I
Yeah.
like the resolution on that. Stanley asks, wonder who will be the next villain. So yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, as far as I can tell about issue number 4, Leslie's parents, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's possible. I don't think that Leslie's parents are going to be very nice or supportive. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm excited that it seems like in the next issue we're going to go to Kandor.
Yeah, so I'll be curious if other, because I know some pretty obscure Supergirl villains from like the 70s and 80s, which
Ooh.
seems like Sophie Campbell's like sweet spot for Supergirl stories, and I'm kind of curious as we progress into this if she will bring some of those more obscure, sort of lesser known Supergirl villains. So I don't want to put any hope into it just in case I'm disappointed, but it seems like that is what's happening, is that she's leaning into that era of Supergirl. So I'll be curious to see. I don't know who the next villain is, but I would bet that she would maybe draw from that era to bring in some new villains.
I'm excited to see what aspects of Supergirl's history she pulls into like the next couple of stories. So it seems like this little arc has kind of finished. But the next arc is going to be on Kandor, which I think is really exciting because I always like it when they, I like it when they're on Earth, but sometimes I do like it when they take little travels to the planets, and Supergirl does that obviously quite a bit. So
I wonder if they'll take Tiny Tana with them.
they should.
They should a road trip with Tiny Tana.
Bring him back. He'll feel right at home in the Bottle City.
He'll have some people to interact with. Could he destroy cities in Kandor? I don't know.
Maybe he's too dangerous to bring with him.
Maybe he has to be isolated. But yeah, so thoroughly enjoying this run. Can't wait to get to the next issue. I think that's going to cover our thoughts on it. But Morgan, we did have some more listener feedback if we would like to get to that.
That's very exciting. Okay, so we have feedback. Layla writes, "Hi, Morgan and Rebecca. I am also a returning listener.
Yay!
Yay!
People are coming back.
Welcome back.
You're more than welcome to join us again and listen to the past episodes that you missed, and join us for future episodes.
We've been here the whole time." Layla says, "I've popped in a few times after the show ended, but after seeing Superman, I was really keen to see your thoughts. However, one thing I haven't seen you talk about is the change to Kara's backstory in the new DCU. What do you think about Supergirl being younger than Superman? Do you think it's a return to her original Argo origins? Personally, the more changes they make to the Woman of Tomorrow comic, the more worried I get. I loved the comic and really hope they capture the essence and heart of it. I also hope they don't only make this change so that Kara doesn't know about the message, given there are multiple other ways around that."
Well, there have been, to my knowledge, very different variations on Kara's age in relation to Superman. Sometimes she is older than him on Krypton, where he's a baby and she's maybe like a teenager and she's supposed to take care of him, and then she gets trapped in the Phantom Zone, or sometimes that is usually what happens, where where she's a little older. But then it's like, do you think about their age in terms of like when she gets here and she's younger than Superman when she comes to Earth? So I don't mind it as much because I've seen it different ways based on her age on Krypton or Argo and her age when she gets here. So I think for me, the age is just kind of up to the writer and the way that they want to portray that. So it's Kal-El is always a baby. no matter what.
Yeah.
But Kara's age can differ based on how you choose to go about the story. So for me, it's not earth shattering for me. It's not like a make or break thing.
Are there versions where she is also like a baby when she gets sent to
Ooh,
Earth? Or
I
think
don't think so.
I think to me the big thing is her remembering Krypton.
Right.
That's sort of the big differentiator. So if they went away from that, I think I would be bummed out. And especially because it's such a big part of Woman of Tomorrow that she remembers, the Krypton kind of dying around her. But yeah, other than that, I don't really. I've seen different varieties of it too.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. As long as they keep that connection that Supergirl has to Krypton and the culture and the people there, I think that that's really all that they need to adhere to in terms of the strictest like Supergirl character bits. But generally, she's older when they're on Krypton and they come to Earth. But sometimes the Phantom Zone can mix that up. So I am willing to see where they go with it. I don't know if they're changing anything based on the message from the Superman movie. I'm not really sure. I guess if she was younger, could that impact her not knowing about the message? I don't know. I was trying to think about that. I don't know how that would.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. For me, like the big part that I would get a little bit like, I don't know, is if like she didn't have memories of Krypton. But as long as she does, I feel like I can kind of go whichever way they decide to really like present her age.
Yeah, I am willing to be open-minded about it. All right. Well, Brian wrote in to say, quote, sorry for the delayed feedback on Superman 2025. I like that he spelled that out as
Me too.
2025. No problem, Brian. Listener feedback is for any time you want to write in. Brian says, it took me too long to finally see the movie and catch up on the podcast episodes. The movie has some minor problems, but not enough to keep me from enjoying it. And Brian writes, keep in mind my favorite movie series of all time is the original Planet of the Apes, and those had plot holes larger than the Forbidden Zone. But the movie is all over my social media feeds. So many people loved this movie enough to post about it, saying I've felt hopeful. I've already watched it twice. I've cried many times. I used to think Superman was a boring character. Crypto was great. And Brian says, people now know the names Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner and Metamorpho and want to read more about them. James Gunn made a movie that found a sweet spot between the longtime fans and people who had never had much interest in Superman. And the movie was fun. It's a movie I can take my wife to see and expect her to understand what is going on and even to enjoy it. I hope to bring her to see it this weekend. Brian also says, in hindsight, I shouldn't have taken her to Deadpool Wolverine last year, but we were on vacation and the kids wanted to see it. She was very confused and very disturbed most of the time.
That's a hard one to parachute in like 3 movies in.
Yeah. Lots going on probably there. Brian continues saying, quote, my probably incorrect cameo prediction. The squirrel saved by Superman turns out to be the Green Lantern Chip. He didn't have his power ring because Guy Gardner stole it and hid it in a tree somewhere in Metropolis. And Brian says Guy Gardner is a real, and then it kind of has a bleep, censored bleep in there. If not Chip, then maybe Super Squirrel from Earth C-, which is related to Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. If Metamorpho can appear in a movie, so can Yankee Poodle and Little Cheese. Yeah, those are some...
What?
Talk about obscure characters from DC Comics. The Captain Carrot crew is very obscure.
I have never heard of this, and now I want to know all about Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew, especially Lil Cheese. Who's Lil Cheese?
Oh, I'm interested in Yankee Poodle, though. I know about Captain Carrot, but I don't know much about these other characters.
I'm looking up Little Cheese, DC. He is a little mouse. Thank God. His actual name is Chester Cheese, it appears.
Perfect.
He's a micro mouse. He's a shrinking mouse. He was a member of Captain Carrot's zoo crew.
Mice are already small, though. Does he have to shrink?
I know. That is a good question.
More?
That is a good question. I guess he gets small. It says powers, size alteration. Little cheese possesses the ability.
Is it Lil like L-I?
I want it to be Lil, but it's actually Little. Little cheese possesses the ability to shrink to near microscopic size at will while retaining his full strength. Now, is that the full strength of a mouse? Is
Are
he
they
like
strong?
A super mouse? Is he a very strong mouse? I don't know. I love that for him. Now I'm going to look up, what is it, Yankee Poodle?
Yeah, Yankee Poodle is a gossip journalist. Rova Barkett is her name, I guess.
What?
Also a patriotic pooch, Yankee Poodle, a member of the zoo crew. Let's see. So
Oh my
Rova
God, her
Barkett.
Do you see her outfit? She's got like a poodle haircut, and then she's got stars in it, and then she like red stars in it, and then she's got like a little leotard with like a star on it, like
She is
like a
patriotic.
patriotic poodle.
Although I don't really understand how the patriotism deals coincides with the gossip journalists.
I don't either. Oh, apparently this is she was maybe it says Scooby-Doo team up. So I don't really know how that works as well. I like the idea that she might have been in like a Scooby-Doo comic at some point in her history. But
Her comic history, it says, well, I think they've done some like Scooby-Doo crossovers in the past, so I could see that happening. It says while interviewing movie actor Burt Reynolds, like Burt Reynolds, in his Follywood home, Rova was struck by a meteor fragment which was launched toward Earth by the villain Starro the Conqueror. Starro the Conqueror is in the first appearance of Snapper Carr, which is also the first appearance of the Justice League.
Wow, it's all connecting.
All connected, you guys.
It all comes back to Supergirl, right?
It all comes back to Snapper Carr. That's how that happens. Which
he's our constant.
The result gave her the superpowers of animal magnetism. Joining with Bird, who was also transformed by a separate meteor fragment. So two separate meteor fragments happened. The two teamed up with other superpowered animals affected by the meteor. Together, the group defeated Starro with the aid of Superman and decided to form the superhero team called the Zoo Crew. So yeah, I mean, the Zoo Crew sounds amazing. There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on with Chester Cheese as well, apparently. I wasn't aware, but his backstory is that Chester Cheese was the son of Dr. Edam Cheese. Not making that up. EDAM, Dr. Edam Cheese. Who was conducting research on the lunar longhorn, a type of cheese found on the moon by astronauts. Obviously. Upon returning home one evening, Chester found his father murdered, with the killer locking him in his father's lab. Unable to escape and growing hungry, Chester decided to eat the lunar longhorn, the only edible thing available in the lab. The extraterrestrial cheese gave Chester the power to shrink in size at will. Chester thus went into training to become a superhero and became Lil Cheese. Chester soon joined the Zoo Crew in bringing his father's killer to justice and was rewarded membership with the crew.
Wow, tragic backstory.
So he has a tragic backstory. There's like all kinds of stuff going on with the Zoo Crew I was not aware of.
Well, now we know more DC Comics characters. If we ever get in that contest where we have to like name DC
I'm gonna be like Yankee Poodle, Chester, Little Cheese, Chip.
So thank you for sharing about that, Brian. Brian finishes his email saying, "Thank you both for the in-depth analysis of the movie. It gives a lot to think about for the second viewing," unquote.
I like his theory that the squirrel is actually Chip, the Green Lantern squirrel. I think that would be amazing.
There is going to be a Lanterns TV show.
That's true. He could show up on that.
He could show up there.
We could get him. We could squeeze him in, I think.
Yeah, and he could have a story where he's like, Superman saved me, and I wanted to be a superhero.
I want to see Kyle Chandler be like, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose to like a little squirrel.
I think that would be something that he would have to do.
It sounds amazing. So our last piece of feedback comes from at Clark's Creek on X, who offered a correction, reminding Rebecca that on Superman, the animated series, Darkseid killed Dan Turpin in the season 2 Apocalypse Now 2-parter, not in the series finale 2-parter Legacy.
I stand corrected. I misremembered another Darkseid 2-parter.
Yeah, it seems like there was more than one.
Yes, there was. So I stand corrected. So thank you for correcting the record on that at Clark's Creek. So appreciate you looking into fact checking that. So I'll have to remember that.
Keep us honest.
So somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought it was like at the end of the show, and it wasn't. So the legacy part at the end of season or at the end of the series was when I think. I'll probably be digging my hole and misremembering this too, but
we're gonna get another correction.
but the end of the series is kind of very serious, which I think is interesting, and I think that's why I thought it was connected to the Dan Turpin death, because Superman is brainwashed by Darkseid, and he goes around and does all this stuff, and the people of Earth lose faith in Superman, and so he has to win them back one person at a time. So it's like a real grim way to leave like the Superman the animated series. It's like, well, Superman was brainwashed and he did a bunch of terrible stuff. And so I thought in my misremembering of the series that was when Dan Turpin was killed. So I stand corrected. So thank you for sending that in and fact checking us on that. So I wanted to correct that for the record. Do we have anything in the chat before we leave and get out of here? I think everybody's just kind of still talking about the weird characters.
Like Kenny says, I hope we see more villains in this series like Psy as well.
I mean, if Sophie Campbell is really comfortable in that 70s and 80s era, I think we could see Psy.
We're big fans of Psy here. we
like Psy, so hopefully Psy will get to make an appearance. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. If you would like to contact us, you can post a comment on our website at supergirlradio.com. You can email us at supergirlradio@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on X and Instagram, all at Supergirl Radio. If you like what we do, we encourage you to give us a rating, write us a review on Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere you listen to podcasts. When I talked to those people at my local movie theater and the guy ran out and he was like, where can I listen to the podcast? And I was like, everywhere. So
all of them.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts, there's probably a way to write a review. Supergirl Radio is part of the DCTV Podcast and Multiverse of Color networks. You can hang out with us as we go live and wired on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the DCTV Podcast YouTube channel. So if you like what we do, give us subscribe to the channel so you always know when things are happening. DCTV Podcast also has a TeePublic store, so if you're in need of new DC or DCTV or DC Comics or Supergirl related t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, magnets, tote bags, pens, phone cases, pillows, or stickers, you can go to supergirlradio.com and click on the TeePublic store link at the top of the page.
And with the Superman movie, Superman 2025, if you
gotta clarify it,
Superman 2025 hitting digital, we encourage you to visit the DCTV Podcast TeePublic store because you're gonna want to let people know that you're watching it just for Supergirl. Maybe not 100%, but primarily you want people to know what you're there for, and it's Supergirl.
So we can't really talk about this because we don't have it yet, but I did see some things circulating on what looked like a Superman behind the scenes sort of possibly a Blu-ray feature that had something to do with Supergirl. So if that is the case and the Superman Blu-ray has a Supergirl featurette on there, you would be watching it and getting it really just for Supergirl.
You could be like, oh, you bought the Superman Blu-ray? You could be like, yeah, for Supergirl.
Which is why I would buy it.
Or you could just make direct eye contact with them and then point to your shirt. No words needed.
It really communicates it for itself, I think. So that's good to know. I guess we'll have to keep an eye out. I think the Superman 2025 Blu-ray comes out in September.
I think so. Yeah, it's available for purchase on digital right now. But I don't know why you, to me at least, I wouldn't buy it on a movie I've seen on digital if I could buy it on Blu-ray and hold it in my hands.
Physical media is superior.
That's how I feel. That's what I'm saying. No one's ever gonna just like decide to disappear that movie from your collection unless you lose it.
It is yours to lose. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that because I have a good feeling that we're going to get some sort of Supergirl tease.
I think
in,
so.
The bonus features of that Blu-ray. So keep your eyes peeled on that. We may have to discuss it if that comes to pass. Well, we would also like to thank our Legion of Super Sponsors for supporting the Supergirl Radio Patreon. These people are Michael, Anne Marie, Yvonne, Nicola, Abby, Miriam, Nicole, Brian, Ethan, Majuba, Annie, Rachel, and Kit. If you would like to become a Legion of Super Sponsor, you can go to patreon.com/Supergirl Radio. If you want to keep up with me, I'm on the Vero True Social app at Derby Kid. If you follow me over there, you would know that I am having to, almost against my will, watch the remakes, the Disney remakes, the live action remakes, because
I'm sorry.
I have, out of principle, I have not been watching them because I'm against them in principle.
I'm against the very concept. I understand. I'm against the very concept. Yes.
Yes. And then I got put on a Dragon Con panel
no.
about remakes.
Oh gosh.
And I did not request to be on this panel. And so I have a feeling
Lucky you.
I have a feeling that they are in desperate need of panelists. And
now,
so,
is it specifically about the Disney remakes, or is it just about the whole concept of remakes?
It's about remakes, but very heavily Disney. In terms of the titles I was given, there was a mention of How to Train Your Dragon, so not a Disney property, but in mixed in. So if you were on Vero True Social, you would know that I watched the new Snow White. And I was disappointed in myself because I realized this was not as bad as people said it was. And I was ready to hate it.
Actually, I had heard that one surprised people by not being as bad as the trailer made it seem. But yeah, I'll be interested once you've made it through all of them. If you could come back and like give us like a sort of a report card on like, are there any of them that you would say if you were interested you should watch?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think I have only watched, of the live action remakes, I think I've only seen The Beauty and the Beast
with the terrifying Lumiere.
The one that haunts my dreams. And I thought it was, no, that's not true. I saw the Cinderella as well.
I've heard the Cinderella one is good.
The Cinderella one I liked. The Beauty and the Beast one I thought was fun. I had no problem with it. But then I was like, I don't think I need any of these other ones. And I never got out to see them. But I do have an interest in the, there's like a couple years ago, they made a Pinocchio. And like Pinocchio used to be my
Guillermo
boy.
Del Toro?
So they made two of them. Like, and they both got like released at the same time, which is very funny. One of them was like one of those like Disney like remakes kind of things, like Tom Hanks is Geppetto.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
The other one
just
was
like fell off the radar.
Just fell off. I think they released it in like 2020 during the pandemic when like no one could go out or see movies, and so it just kind of fell onto Disney Plus and then just like disintegrated. But and then Guillermo del Toro made one which is probably terrifying. Now, as a child, I was really into Pinocchio. My mom said that like I didn't know how to read, but I had memorized Pinocchio and I would like read it back to her. And I was talking to Mike about this one time and he's like, I don't think I've ever seen Pinocchio. So I said that we have to have like a Pinocchio weekend, like Pinocchio weekend.
Yeah.
And we like
Pinocchio party.
Pinocchio party. We're going to have a Pinocchio party, a straight Pinocchio party. We're going to start with the original animated Pinocchio and then we're going to make our way to every version of Pinocchio. And I'm wondering how bad this is going to be for us because I've only ever seen the original animated Pinocchio. I haven't seen the other two. So if you get to one of the Pinocchios, report back.
Okay, I will have to watch both of them. I like Guillermo.
I do as well. Yeah, so I feel like at least there'll be like a visual style. Even if I don't like the movie, there'll at least be a visual style, like a point of view, like an artistry to it. I don't feel the same passion for whatever the Tom Hanks version is, but I do like Tom Hanks.
I have so many of these remakes to have to watch, and
Did you watch? Oh, did you watch? I remembered another one that I
Yes,
saw.
okay.
Did you watch the Dumbo one?
The Tim Burton one. I liked the Tim Burton one.
The one that came out a couple years ago. I can't remember.
It was a
that
live
Tim
action
Burton?
Dumbo. Yeah, it was Tim Burton.
No. Oh, okay.
I'm
Good for that. Okay, I did not know that was
Tim
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. Because I love Tim Burton. He's one
Oh.
of my favorite directors, so I kind of settle into Tim Burton.
I was wondering why I
Nice.
thought that one was really good. Well, my mom loves Dumbo, so we went to go see it. That was our Pinocchio Pinocchio weekend, our Pinocchio party, and if you will, and I came out of it being like, wow, that one was so much better than all the other ones. I think because Dumbo is such a short movie. I don't even think it's 90 minutes. I think it's like 60 minutes, the original animated version. So like to pad it out to a full movie. Also, it's like mostly about the elephant. So to
Yeah.
pad it out to a full movie, they like add a bunch of like subplots to it. Like Danny DeVito is just hamming it up. And I was like, you know what? Actually, A+. This feels like an interpretation of Dumbo, not like I'm just watching a shot for shot, but with people this time.
Yeah, I actually I remember. I'll have to rewatch that one. I really enjoyed the Dumbo one. I am currently so what I've been doing. This is like long-winded. I should have just like plugged myself and got out of here. But what I'm doing is I'm watching the original animation and then watching the live action like back to back, which has been really helpful with the Snow White one, especially of like seeing what the differences are, seeing how they homaged it. So I'm currently in The Little Mermaid, rewatching the animated version, then watching the new one with the terrifying flounder and stuff.
Why do the fish look like that? Why did they think we wanted realism out of the fish? I don't. Way to misunderstand what made your movie charming.
Also, it's not live action when you're still animating the fish. It's still a CGI.
One could make the same argument about the Lion King live action. It's a CGI. They just took it from animation to CGI. If they wanted to really do live action, they should have cast all lion actors. Just go out into the Serengeti and meerkat manor this.
Now, I would watch that.
They're like, it doesn't exactly follow the plot because we couldn't make them do that. but here are some lions. And I would have watched that. I would have oh, what an interesting concept.
Yeah, so that's my plan is over the next like week and a half, I'm gonna really have to hunker down and watch these remakes, and I'm gonna have to really every second of it
go through them.
Just tell them like I don't want to do this.
I probably please help me.
Then I would keep passing the buck to some other poor unfortunate soul.
You're like, no, yes. Oh my god, amazing!
So I might as well have to do that. But
I see a comment in the chat from Abby. She says, Rebecca, Katie McGraw is doing a rewatch review of Tim Burton movies on a Patreon podcast in October.
Is that how? Am I going to be subscribing to a Katie McGraw Patreon now?
I keep seeing clips of this Patreon podcast, and I'm every clip I see, I get closer to subscribing. I'm like, oh, I don't need to subscribe to another.
What
Patreon.
if we did that?
Yes,
for our Patreon,
we
watch a bunch
of Tim Burton movies. Yes, 1,000 times. Yes.
We should watch like little talked about ones like Coraline or something like something.
Oh my god,
like,
that one's so good. Oh, so creepy too.
It's so creepy. Yes. Okay. Good to know. So I will be doing the live action watching. I'm also on Instagram at the Derby Kid. You can follow me on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/dogmilkprod. I also have a travel blog with my brother at Oasis Broom. Eventually, when I get stuff from my brother, we're going to be posting about our England trip. So that's where you can follow me if you want to keep up with me on the interwebs.
Abby says, "Oh yes, spooky rewatch. Maybe this should be a Patreon exclusive for October or something."
Okay, well, maybe we should
think about it.
A list of like Tim Burton movies in a hat, or maybe you pick one.
Have the people choose,
or you pick one and I pick one. And we
that would be fun.
bring movies for each other to watch.
Yes, our Tim Burton picks.
Yes. Okay, that sounds good. We'll plan for that.
Before we throw it to me, Stanley wants to know any celebrities coming to Dragon Con that
There are some Supergirl related ones. Makad Brooks will be there, so I'm going to try to see if I can get my picture made with Makad.
nice.
There are some Arrowverse people, some specifically Arrow people. Well, I don't really care about that. But I'm trying to think. What is the actress from Buffy who played Cameron Chase on Supergirl? I forget. She played.
Oh,
I forget what that actress's name is. Oh, I cannot think of what her name is. But so Cameron Chase will be there. I'm trying to think if there's big names are like Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future. There's a big Back to the Future contingent that will be there. And also the most exciting celebrity guests at Dragon Con, Gonzo and Pepe the King Prawn.
what? Wait,
Yes.
Gonzo and Pepe are going to be there?
Gonzo and Pepe and Elmo, but really, I'm here for Gonzo. Who
Whatever,
cares about Elmo?
Whatever. Elmo gets enough attention. Okay.
I'm here
tired
for
of it.
Gonzo and
I'm
Pepe
tired
the
of
King Prawn.
Gonzo and Pepe. Now, are you going to be able to take a picture with them?
That's my goal. I hope I get, because one of my dreams, Morgan, this is like bucket list item for me, is to interact with a Muppet.
Oh my God.
That is my dream. Like
You
I've
might
had,
be able to do that.
I might. I've been in the room with Kermit the Frog, and I've
Oh
had
my
my
God.
picture made. I've had my picture made with the Fraggles, but like
Pretty
to me,
good.
the Fraggles are like the Care Bear cousins. You know what I mean? Like
It's true.
there's the Muppets, and then there's the
They're in the
Fraggles.
rock. They're all singing, but like,
They're the Care Bear
who's the
cousins. and
star? You know,
Muppets.
who's the star of Fraggle Rock? Nobody, really.
So I really hope I get to have an encounter with Gonzo and Pepe the King Prawn. Those are like dream guests.
That is amazing. I see Abby in the chat beat me
Emma
to
Caulfield, yes.
looking it up. It is Emma Caulfield, who was Anya in Buffy as a big
Yes.
Buffy fan.
Yes.
I forgot that she was in Supergirl, to be honest.
She was in one episode and
It
they
was-
never brought her back because
it
they
was a-
didn't care about the DEO.
It was a very strange cameo because I remember being like, oh my God, Emma Caulfield? Like, what's Anya doing here? And then nothing, it turned out.
And
Never
Cameron
returned.
Chase is a really big character in the DEO.
Yeah, it seemed like stunt casting because it was going to go somewhere, but you were wrong and it didn't.
Went nowhere. Dragon Con for me will be Makad Brooks, maybe Back to the Future, but definitely like Gonzo and Pepe the King Prawn. Also, this is a side tangent. Because Elmo is coming, I went back and rewatched that Elmo interview with the chicken shop lady. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh God, wait,
The-
Elmo was on the chicken shop lady spot?
You never seen the one where she's like, "What's your 5-year plan?"
No, that's
You
amazing.
haven't seen this? No. She asked Elmo what his 5-year plan is, and he has no idea what she's talking about. But in that interview, you have to watch it. It's the most. It's amazing.
I'm
It's
looking at-
incredible.
For sure.
But I was wondering, maybe the chat can help me out with this. What is Elmo's beef with Rocco? Can someone explain this to me? What did Rocco do to Elmo?
I don't believe Rocco did anything to Elmo, and yet Elmo has a burning passion for like a burning passionate hatred of Rocco that I do find very funny. I want the backstory on the beef. I did see like a compilation one time of all of like Elmo's beefs with Rocco like through the years, and it was all like Elmo like looking at Rocco like being like Rocco. It's so good.
So Morgan, I'm gonna have to get you to watch that that interview.
I'm putting that on the list for sure.
It's so good. So anyway, hopefully I'll have Muppet encounters to report back with from Dragon Con. Okay, so Morgan, where can we find you on the interwebs?
Well, you can find me watching that Elmo chicken shop date for sure. You can also find me as a co-host on the Legendary Ladies podcast, where we should be back, I believe, next week. Now that everybody is back from their various vacations and August/July plans. And you can find us on YouTube at The Legendary Ladies and Instagram at The Legendary Ladies, on Twitter at legends_podcast. And you can always send us an email. I think is it The Legendary Lady? I can never remember if we have the legendary ladies at gmail.com to let us know what you would like us to talk about or cover on the podcast. We're going to be very rusty because it's been like a month since we've podcast. And I don't know that I can't good thing we came back early, because otherwise I would have no idea how to do it anymore.
It is.
How does this work?
It is when you take it. If you don't use those muscles, you can
You lose them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I can't wait for the legendary ladies to get back in action. That's very exciting for me personally. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Supergirl Radio. But until next time, I'm still Rebecca Johnson.
And I'm still Morgan Glennon, and we look forward to continue reading about the misadventures in Midvale.
McGurk! I love
Not
typing.
mess with my Google Docs, Meeksy.
Supergirl Radio is going live every night of the week. How do you like it? Is becoming a human burrito a plus or a minus? I don't know. It does seem snug.
I mean, they say you are what you eat.
Kira. I love that.
So I do a podcast called Supergirl Radio, and one of our segments is Lena Luthor, Boardroom or Ballroom, because really?
She looks like a boss in this coat.
Nasty Luthor like a different Luthor? It's not just Lena being mean?
No.
Helen Slater here. So fun to know that you're hosting a podcast called Supergirl Radio.
Yeah.